Namaste.
Sandosham.
I'm Amelia.
And I'm JP.
And we're in Amsterdam.
Yes, we are. I was editing these videos, the wedding videos, in the airport and realized there's way too much content to have in just 2 parts, so we decided to split it into 3 parts.
Yes, so today is the actual marriage ceremony.
Yeah, and our blessing of our marriage and the reception.
Yes.
Lots of stuff in this video. So if you haven't watched part 1 and part 2 yet, be sure and go back and watch those to get the full experience of everything we experienced on the day before and the day of the wedding.
Yeah, it was amazing.
A lot of different things happened. It was action-packed.
Yes, it was super fun.
In the meantime, please remember to subscribe.
And ring that bell.
So you get notified and you don't miss our upcoming India videos as well as our return to Cuenca.
Ciao.
Ciao.
It was a late night and an early morning because I had to go back to the beauty parlor with Chinnu to get ready for the actual marriage ceremony. And of course that meant that JP had to get up too.
I know, and I was so tired. We had a late night and we got up so early, a lot earlier than we actually needed to.
Oh wow.
And so we were tired, and the whole family was tired.
Yeah, but it was totally worth it.
It was. Hola a todos. It's wedding day in India. Today's the big day for Chinnu and Abin. Amelia is already at the beauty parlor getting fixed up for the wedding, and we're getting ready here. The guys are here getting our toadies or doties on. That's the white kind of dress like sheet that the guys wear here, and it's really comfortable. It's nice and cool. I like it a lot. We're all in our doties. We're waiting for our ride to the wedding. I guess we're going to a church. Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to a church somewhere. Our ride will be here shortly. We're all dressed up and ready to go. The 3 guys were waiting at Basil's house for our ride to the church, and they were a little bit late, so we got there basically right when Chinnu and Amelia arrived.
Yeah, so that was perfect.
It was perfect timing, I guess.
You look fantastic. I need to video you.
Wow. So beautiful.
Thank you.
Do you want to video me?
I do want to video you. Wow, look at my handsome man. Wait, let me back. Actually, it might be easier for you to back
You
up.
can just pan down.
Oh. Yeah, but I wanted to get your whole look. Nice. That looks very comfortable.
I already gave them our rings. They asked for our rings already.
Good.
All right, let's go in. We went into the church, and I was surprised. I feared there would be more people, especially because it was a double wedding, which is actually common here this time of year because the monsoon starts in a month, and a lot of people try and get their weddings in before the monsoon season, which lasts 2 months, and it rains day and night.
Yeah, and last year they had all those terrible landslides. So I'd rather be really hot than in
Really
in a nasty monsoon.
Yeah. So because they only have a limited number of priests and facilities, they combine weddings sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes they do more than one at a time.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a ton of good footage because Abby's family is Orthodox Catholic, so they don't face the congregation when they do their ceremonies. So I wasn't able to get very much good footage of Chinnu and Abin because I was next to them and behind them instead of in front of them.
Yeah, I don't think the priest would have appreciated it had you walked in behind them.
Yeah, well, there were
That probably would have been a no-no.
I know, and both families had their own film crew. Both families had videographers and photographers who were all up on the altar.
Yeah.
And they were all. You'll see them in the video.
Yeah. It felt like paparazzi for sure.
So I'm just going to roll the footage so you guys can kind of experience it the way we did. It's not a lot of footage, but it's a beautiful ceremony.
It was beautiful. It really was.
മക്കളെ ഇപ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ ദൈവസന്നിധി
I thought it was interesting that they kissed what looked like a little bed that was on the altar. I'm assuming that's a fertility symbol. Now, I was raised Catholic and I've never seen that in our version of Roman Catholicism, so I'm not sure if it's an Orthodox Catholic thing or if it's just an Indian tradition. But I thought that was interesting. Children are an extremely important part of their culture.
Yes.
And they even had two children standing next to him. Ebby had a little boy standing next to him, and Chinnu had a little girl standing next to her.
Yes, they were really cute.
And I wish you could see the little girl. She was beautiful in her little white dress. She looked like an angel.
She did. Although Chinnu looked like an angel.
Chinnu did look like an angel.
She's so beautiful.
Yes.
I know you're tired of me saying that, Chinnu. I'm not going to stop saying it. You were beautiful.
You are beautiful. And then afterwards we went outside and there was a little ceremony where we gave them wreaths. We put wreaths around and shook their hands, and it was such a special experience for us.
It really was.
Yeah. So after the ceremony where we gave Chinnu and Abby the wreaths, we walked over to a different building where the priest had gone and got our marriage blessed.
Yes.
It's really hard to walk up stairs in a dhoti. And I don't know, they have a way of folding it so that where they pull it up when they're going upstairs or walking. And I didn't get the proper training on how to do that. So I was afraid I'd show off my underwear if I tried that. So I just kind of pulled it up like a dress. And when we went in to get our marriage blessed, the priest acted like he was surprised. I'm not sure that this was the priest that they had talked to about doing our marriage blessing. And he acted like he didn't really know what we wanted. And he's like, why are these gringos standing in my office?
But he was so nice.
He was so nice. He was all smiles.
He was all smiles, which is exactly what you want on a happy day.
And then the guy asked, will you bless them? And he came up and touched us on the forehead and gave us a blessing. And then he talked to us for a little bit and asked us where we were from. And it was a perfect ceremony for Amelia and me.
Yes, it was.
Because
we loved it.
It was very short and sweet.
Yes, straightforward and to the point.
Straightforward and to the point. and somewhat humorous.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just like us.
Just like us.
And then we posed for several pictures. I'm a very lucky man.
Ours was a lot less pomp and circumstance.
Yes, it was. Yes.
Which was perfect.
Yes, it was fun.
Yes, that was.
And now we have new rings.
Additional.
Yes.
Additional rings.
Now we've been married twice.
Yes.
Once on each hand.
Let's see them all. Excellent.
Like jazz hands.
Yeah, jazz hands.
Yeah.
After our blessings, we drove over to the reception hall, and there we waited for Chinnu and Abby's grand entrance. Chinnu changed into a beautiful reception sari. Yes, it was beautiful, and he looked beautiful, Chinnu. It was so hot in there, though. Oh my gosh.
Yes, it was very hot, and it was neat to see all of the people, and the reception hall was just packed with people.
It was.
But eventually we had to go outside. It had to be 100 degrees inside there, and everybody was dripping, so we went outside for a little while.
Yes. We are now at the reception for the newlyweds, Abin and Chinnu. Fatima, nice to meet you. This is my husband.
Very good, very good. after Chinnu and Abin arrived, they had more ceremonies, more blessings, and they cut the cake and they lit some ceremonial candles, which I thought was really cool. But I thought Chinnu was going to burn her hand because they kind of lit the cake in the wrong order, right? Or lit the candles in the wrong order. So her hand was like over the fire at one point. She's like, ah. But then after all the ceremony was over, then everybody filed up on stage one after another, big families, little families, and the gringos. And they asked me if I would they asked our group if somebody would say a few words, and so nobody else wanted to.
We volunteered JP.
They volunteered me, which is fine. I used to be a public speaker, so it doesn't bother me. There were probably, 400, 500
probably
Indians out there. About half of them probably spoke English. So I got up there and thanked them for their hospitality and
just said how grateful we were to be there. We were really honored to have been invited and to be able to participate in their ceremonies. It was amazing. I
know, it's unfortunate that I handed a guy my camera and he filmed us leaving the stage. He didn't film us doing our speech, so you'll just have to take our word for it that it was a lot of fun and I didn't stumble over my words.
No, you did not. You did a great job. There were no bloopers.
Totally impromptu, no bloopers. It was totally impromptu and I was very happy. But it was fun. It was just such an amazing experience.
Yes.
We were just so thankful to be part of it.
Yeah, I think that they ended up doing wedding pictures for like 2 hours.
They did,
didn't they?
and Abby was in a 4-layered suit. He had an undershirt, a vest. He said it was 4 layers. What were they?
Well, an undershirt, a shirt, a vest, and then a jacket.
Undershirt, shirt, vest, jacket.
So full suit.
He's like, I'm so hot. I'm so hot.
Everybody was hot.
It was so hot.
But boy, they wear it well. You couldn't tell.
Yeah.
But I think at the end you could tell they were really...
Yeah, they weren't smiling nearly as much at the end.
I think everybody was starting
to melt.
Yes, to feel the heat.
Yeah.
The reception is winding down. We've had an amazing time. Another example of the incredible hospitality here is the fact that at the wedding reception, all the guests eat first, and then the family eats last. They also all have to eat in shifts because there are so many people that come. It was really incredible and super fun and hot. The food was amazing as usual, more traditional South Indian Kerala dishes with a lot of veg and non-veg, and they were fabulous about pointing out the vegan options that we had, which was, I believe 4. We had 4 different options, plus the dosa and rice and things like that, so we did not go hungry at all. We were speaking to one of Abby's relatives, and he was saying that the custom here in India is to welcome foreigners and to be their hosts and to treat you like honored guests, and we felt like honored guests, and our trip isn't even over. We're just getting started.
As I mentioned before, they had hired a professional film crew and they had a really awesome drone. I had a bit of drone envy.
Yeah, you did.
But they flew the drone inside the facility to film the family, to do video of the family and the people eating and stuff, which was great if you were standing under it because of all the airflow. But then after everything was done and we were outside, they were flying the drone, and this cow in this field was just mesmerized by that drone. He stood there and stared at it for like 5 minutes. I thought that was so cute how this cow, he was like, what is that thing? And
he was mesmerized just like you.
I know, I was standing there watching it too. It was cool. All right, I think that's it for part 2 of our Indian wedding experience.
Yeah, it was, I know I've said this, it was an incredible, amazing, fantastic experience. We were so honored and grateful to be, to have been able to share in their special days, not just a day.
Several days.
And then from there we kept going.
Yeah, we did.
Because we went to Munnar.
Yeah, so our next videos you're going to get to see Munnar, which is a really popular tourist destination for people who live in India.
Yes, it's cooler. It actually was cooler. It was really nice because we got a break from the heat, and it was beautiful.
It was beautiful. It's a lot higher in altitude.
Yeah.
So it was very cool and nice.
Comfortable.
We didn't even have air conditioning in our hotel.
Yeah,
and we didn't need
it.
Yeah, that's how cool it was.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that video. It's beautiful. The scenery in Munnar is otherworldly. I used to watch National Geographic when I was a kid and be mesmerized by other cultures and civilizations around the world, and I lived it firsthand, and it was amazing. And I got a ton of photography too, which once I get back in Cuenca, I will edit and post that in a gallery on the blog post for this video, but that won't be available for probably another month.
Bummer.
I know.
I am excited to see it too. And
All
I
right.
lived it too.
As always, please remember to subscribe
Ring that bell.
so you get notified. You don't miss our Moonar videos.
Yes.
All right. Ciao, everybody.
Ciao.
Sandosham.
Sandosham.
Pull your dress up.